Grand Rising loves. This is the altar spread for the collective today. And so the sacred geometry that showed up for today is Luna and the volcano. We've seen this before. This is amazing. It's showing upright. And so remember the message of Luna and the volcano, which is the combination of that masculine directive energy and that feminine receptive, is potential. The ever dormant potential, right? And so receptivity, like the waiting to receive, is the deeply feminine energy, and that directive power is the masculine energy. And so the combination of those is super powerful. But this talks about change is imminent, and you don't know how it's going to come, but it's going to be powerful. And so you can never prepare for powerful change because it's going to be new. You can't prepare for something that's never been before. And so I love the message of that because everything is new. We tend to, in the human experience, go off of cellular memory of expired paradigms and expired experiences, and we think we know what's coming. Or we try to control it so that we feel safe. And the whole point of growth is that you have to let all that shit go. Let everything go. Let go of what you know or what you think you know, because you really don't know shit. And so this is about moving into that and how this dormant potential always exists. And that's exciting. Don't fear it. Be excited about it. Let that undercurrent of like surprise, the element of surprise, let it surprise you and ride it. That's the power of it. And so water basically says the same thing. Any emotion that you're feeling, let yourself feel it, right? So if you feel fear, feel it fully, but move through it. Don't stay in it. If you feel sorrow, feel it, deeply feel it. I mean, this is why we choose the sensuality of being human. Because even in that deepest sorrow, we still get to feel. And in our truest form, we don't get the feels. It's complete bliss, but we don't get the feels, the deep feels of being human. And so that's why we choose it. This is like ultimate experience, right? The pain and the agony of being human. There's also these sublime highs. And so water says, feel it, feel all of it, and move through it. So don't become stagnant. Let emotion move through you. Feel it, feel it, feel it all. And so Tiger's Eye talks about balance, finding the balance, that there is no duality. There's not one, there's no hierarchy. But Tiger's Eye wants you to find the balance, because in that place of balance, you get to move. You don't become stagnant. If you're stuck on one over the other, I'm good or bad, or I'm judging this, and you will become stagnant. And so the balance, and this is Tiger's Eye. This is a really beautiful stone. You see how it's got depth to it. It looks dark, but when you let the light hit it, it's got immense depth to it. And it's got this undercurrent of fire, which is beautiful, but it's a very grounding stone as well. And this is actually the mala of choice for the Dalai Lama. It's a beautiful stone. But it really does awaken the energies of the solar plexus, but pulling in passion from the sacral. And so that's really the house of a lot of our feels as far as fear goes and what we base a lot of our movement on. And so really the cohesiveness of this is, in order to grow, you have to move through change, but you have to let go of the judgment around what you think is occurring, because you'll become stagnant in that judgment. And it really does limit you. We are limitless beings. And part of why we're here in the human experience is not only the feels, but to return to unity consciousness, but also to experience the human experience in our boundless selves, translated as human. And right now it is so limited. That's why we're shifting into this new paradigm, because it's just not working anymore. It's becoming too dense. And so all of that dense energy is being eradicated. And so part of really breaking up that density is to allow yourself to feel, so that you become a more open vessel and find that balance, so that when change, that imminent change does occur, you can actually move through it with ease. And that's the exact message of Anka, king of the red hawk tribe. This is the red-tailed hawk. Talks about their deliberate aspects of the hawk, not only as a hunter, but also in flight. They have one of the most graceful flights. If you ever watch hawks, they glide more often than they actually need to propel themselves with wing. And it's such a beautiful thing to see. It really is. They don't waver the way like vultures do, or the bigger birds of prey. And it's just such a beautiful thing to watch the hawks. It's graceful. And so what this message brings is, yes, there's imminent change. And the change is occurring for you to reach your highest self. And we are being commended for the work that's been done this far. So take a moment, pause, and say, wow, I really have come pretty far. Commend yourself for the work that you are doing. Don't berate yourself for the work that you haven't done yet. Take that pause to feel the gratitude. Take a moment to really appreciate yourself, admire yourself. Feel it. And when you do that, you will move into that change, that dormant potential with grace, gliding through that. But gratitude has to be present. Gratitude has to be present. And so even if there were old toxic behaviors that you participated in, you can find that gratitude for those lessons. Wow, I was really toxic. I was doing such and such to hold people captive to my reality because I really needed my needs met. But realizing you did that as a trauma response. Oh, give yourself some compassion. Feel the gratitude for that growth, for recognizing why you had those patterns, but releasing those patterns so that you no longer hold people captive, so that everyone that surrounds you is doing so freely. Isn't that way better? Isn't that way fucking better? They're making the choice to be there. How beautiful is that? That speaks of the appreciation that everyone deserves. That speaks of the attentiveness that everyone deserves. When you come and you're vulnerable in your highest integrity and purest intent, and someone decides to stay, whoa. It doesn't get better than that. The human experience becomes sublime. Surrender, surrender. Thank you. you. And I'm sorry for any part of me that has created fear in you. Fear of change, fear to express yourself. Please forgive me.